Hello, I'm Persia.
And I'm Joey.
And we run Addictive Daughter.
Which, in a nutshell, is a practical, savvy self-help company for the 20s generation of women, both party and career girls alike.
Who are perhaps feeling a little bit despondent and shit about said career or relationships with men, etc. Life in general, if you will.
So Persia and I have been best friends for years. We've lived together. We have been through the most tremendous highs together,
as well as the lowest of lows. For we have been privy to some of the more tumultuous experiences, e.g. Experiencing the world's worst hangover and come down.
Ever. Yeah, we've also had that awkward thing where you're living with your best friend and you've both had a one-night stand and are desperately trying to get the guys out, but end up all kind of meeting in the corridor or by the front door at the same time.
Very fast, cool way. Also having very little money so that you can only afford one fish finger between the two of you for an entire week.
Yep. Or just general kind of seeing each other, I think, going through chaos and the drama and destructive decisions and patterns.
Exactly. And of course, the way that we dealt with all of these things is that we just laughed it off every time something horrendous happened. We justified it so that we could carry on in said horrendous behaviour. And most importantly, we were in complete denial about how shit we were feeling about ourselves and our lives in general.
Because it's a lot easier just to keep going, even if you're going through a bad time, just to keep going, rather than actually stop and take stock of what's happening and decide to do something differently.
Yeah.
And that was our experience up until the point when we had basically a rock bottom experience where things just couldn't get any worse. Quarter-life crisis. We were both very much heartbroken and broken. And coincidentally, it happened at the same time. So we were going through this really shit period, and lots of other stuff was going on too. And we really found that we had no choice but to change our lives.
Exactly. So in a way, our quarter-life crisis / rock bottom was the best thing that could happen to us,
Yep.
because it forced us to confront our demons and ourselves, which was bloody painful and difficult. But, you know,
also amazing.
It was amazing.
Actually.
We read more self-help books than you can imagine. We did more therapy than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
You name it, we did it. And after the first kind of few months, which were painful and difficult, of course, life started to get pretty bloody amazing. Our relationships with men started to be incredible. Our careers became fulfilling and exciting. Our friendships were great. Everything just started to be great, you know, to that old thing of once you sort your insides out, your outsides just take care of themselves.
Yeah.
That was very much the case for us.
Very true. And I think a massive thing that we realised when we started to sort our own shit out and get our lives together is we started to see that our kind of closer friendship circles and also the ones that were wider, actually the same stuff was still going down.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of destructive behaviour. I think we all have a tendency when we're going through hard times to reach beyond ourselves to make ourselves feel better. Hence why booze, drugs, sex, shopping, like, you know, it's stuff that we do time and time again because it changes our head temporarily.
Exactly. And even those people you see in the magazines, who are the celebrities who've got it all, have it all, they still were doing that as well. So it wasn't even a case of, oh, when I'm successful, everything will be fine. Because even our friends who were successful were still really struggling. They weren't feeling fulfilled.
Yeah.
And of course, when you feel shit, you reach those things, as Joey said. But what that does is you're just putting a plaster over the problem. You're not solving it. You're not facing anything. And so it just ensues. You just feel worse and worse. The problems get worse and worse. You're not dealing with it.
Exactly. And also it means that you're becoming dependent on these outside things, the booze, the drugs, the sex, whatever it is that you've been using, because you begin to know no other way of dealing with it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's become so bloody normal in society today that you get shit-faced all weekend and you spend the week at work recovering.
And then just looking forward to the next weekend again.
Or that one holiday you've got in the summer. And you literally are wishing your life away. And that's a given now, isn't it?
It is so normalised, right?
Yeah.
And so we start to ask ourselves the question, why is this happening? Why are we in a place in our society where this kind of work 9 to 5 and live for the weekends and, you know, not really living in the moment, always looking outside ourselves for the next best thing and, you know, all of that stuff. Why is this happening now? More than ever before, I would argue. And the main answer we came up with is that back in the day, the role of women was very different. At the age of 20 or 21, you would have already popped out a squawker or two. You'd be married, you know, you'd have your home, and you'd have your purpose. You knew what was going to happen for the next few decades. You'd be raising kids, you'd be cooking meals.
And essentially now we've got this decade to play with because, you know, the average age people are having a baby at is 30 and that they're getting married at is 33, which is interesting in itself. A lot of people are having babies before they've actually got a commitment with a guy. So whether it's accidental or whatever it is, things have changed. They've been flipped on upside down.
Yeah.
And we've got to remember, ladies, that this is bloody new territory for us. Men have had autonomy and freedom and choices and liberation available to them since the dawn of time. You know, since cavemen, basically. We have not. So this is new. We're trying to find our way around this and navigate. And, you know, we're coming up against brick walls and kind of getting smacked over the head and freaking out. And whilst it's wonderful in ways that we have all these choices available to us, if you're anything like me, it also causes a horrendous amount of anxiety, neurosis, and you spend your life second-guessing. Oh, I should have done that unpaid internship. I should have done that degree. Oh, I shouldn't have broken up with that guy. I should do this. I should do that. And also, oh, you know, she looks happy. Oh, you know, Kim Kardashian in the paper. Not at the moment, but what I need to do is just do what she's doing and then I'll be happy. And of course that's ridiculous because Kim Kardashian and me are very, very different, and what makes us happy is going to be very, very different.
Exactly. I think this is further worsened by the fact that social media is 24/7 in our faces these days. So we're constantly looking on Facebook at the kind of perfect pictures of our friends and acquaintances, you know, happy with their boyfriends, showing their new bling, their engagement ring.
New babies shooting out of the womb, and, you know, before the placenta's even been wiped off, we're having pictures of them on Facebook.
Job promotions, pictures of holidays, you know, all
happy
of that.
couples everywhere.
It's a bit much, and to be honest, it's not real. You know, we're putting out our best selves all the time, but actually, you know, what's underneath that? There's insecurity. We're probably arguing with our partners. We've got family problems. Our jobs are shit.
Yeah, we're sitting at our desk contemplating hole punching some crucial arteries every 5 minutes.
Exactly.
It's not real. So we're comparing our inner reality with someone else's highlights reel. It's not real. But yet we're believing it, we're internalising this shit.
And it's making us, I think, as a generation, feel really crappy about ourselves. And what do you do when you feel crappy about yourselves? You reach for things to make you feel better.
Exactly.
And that's what's happening. I think it's safe to say, as a generation, we need help.
We do, we need help. And, come on, there's plenty available to us. Just look on Amazon, self-help. There's shitloads of books. Yeah. There's therapy. There's self-help groups, everything that you can possibly imagine. But why aren't we doing it? Because when we speak to our friends, they are telling us how shit they feel. Like, we used to whinge and sit, shit. Yeah. But we didn't do anything about it for a bloody long
time. Just the same old patterns again and again.
And why is that?
I think the big thing is why are we not doing anything about it? Is because there's a huge stigma attached to self-help or anything in that field. You know, it's not cool. We're British. We have a stiff upper lip, and we pretend that everything's fine, even when it clearly isn't.
Yeah, and also it's not. Self-help tends to not be packaged or aimed specifically at the 20th generation. In our heads, we think self-help reserved for the midlife crisis lady. She might have written a book about it. There must be some wisdom in there, but it's not relevant to me. It doesn't speak to me and what are the issues that I've got. What does she know about my life? Yeah. So this is the stigma.
It's the stigma. And what we have done through our own experiences, and actually the experiences that we're still going through now and still learning, is we've created Addictive Daughter, which is a place. And it's not to tell you how to live, but it's to give you tools to find out what's important to you and what are the right choices for you.
And what do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to be? Because we've got to remember, this is really crucial. Every choice that we make is either taking us towards the dream or goals that we've had, you know, that we all have within us. We do. Whether we believe that we can achieve them or that we're worth them, anything like that is a different matter. But every choice we make is taking us towards that or well away from it. And we can testify, that we were making choices that were taking us well away from where we really wanted to be.
It's very true. And, you know, it's fair to say you can ignore this stuff now and not deal with it, and you can end up being 45, sitting on the sofa looking across the room at your husband thinking, shit, why did I marry this man? Why did I make these choices? I've had an awful career, I deserved more, my friends aren't fulfilling me. Why wait till then to have that crisis? Why not start making the choices now, like Persia says?
Exactly. And the good news is that if you have the energy, if you possess the energy to create chaos, destructiveness, and make your life completely unmanageable, then you also can turn that on its head. You've got the potential to have a bloody amazing life.
Yeah. I think that's our main message with Addictive Daughter. It's about the energy, and it's just flipping it in another direction. Change it, do something different. If you have watched this vlog and you have enjoyed and related to what you've heard, then have a look at our website, see what we're currently doing, and we just want to say a big welcome to you to the world of Addictive Daughter.